Hello again, everyone. Andy Schwab here on the road with your Farm and Ranch Report this morning as we've had the opportunity to come to the Montana Farm Bureau Annual Convention here in Billings. And standing by with us, Scott Colbeck, the Executive Vice President of the Montana Farm Bureau. Scott, of course, we've talked a little bit lately about your guys' recent trip to Taiwan on that trade mission with Governor Gianforte. Talk about what that means for Montana Farm Bureau members to have a voice in Taiwan.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you, Andy. Appreciate you guys being here. So it was a wonderful trip. It was absolutely fantastic, and I can't thank the governor, the director of the Department of Agriculture, Christy Clark, enough for including us. It was just a wonderful trip for us and for our members. The key takeaway for me, I think, is that we were able to shake the hands of decision makers, look them in the eye, thank them for their business, and let them know, those Taiwanese trading partners, that they're important to us. I really think that it's too early to tell, but we're going to see some positive impacts on Montana agricultural commodities because of that trade partnership with Taiwan.
That is so great. And of course, we're just now kicking off this annual convention here in Billings. A great opportunity for networking and learning opportunities for your members.
Yeah, absolutely. Our number one role for Montana Farm Bureau is advocacy, and we'll work on our policy development here that we will advocate for our members about. But networking is so important. Associations have found that's actually the number one reason why people join, belong, and pay their dues to the organization. And we have a lot of opportunities for that. I'm looking at our Director of Event Planning, Alina Stanley, at the corner of my eye, and she's done a wonderful job of putting together really a nationally renowned group of speakers for this convention. So we're looking forward to a good one.
Of course, those grassroots policies developed here in Billings will move forward to that national convention in Salt Lake around mid-January. We'll be there to cover that as well.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought. There always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. But it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends, to your Ag News and your markets. Well, the latest World Ag Supply and Demand Estimates report for November featured a few surprises. Wheat was actually the bullish surprise leader, and the November WASDE further emphasized the continued tightening world supply situation for wheat. Now, soybeans were actually the biggest surprise in that report, and although not as ultra bullish as some would thought, the market was caught short, resulting in a sharp gain. All eyes will, of course, be on China's demand and the South American weather in the next coming months. For the corn market, despite facing a record corn yield and sizable crop, they overcame that to close a little bit higher. Now, despite that positivity, the wheat trade did trade a little bit lower, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Unfortunately, another big loss that we did see in the markets yesterday, and it was really the cattle complex not having any comparison to the losses that we saw in the wheat. The steep pressure resulted in the sharp pullback in the negotiated sales as packers try to gain back their losses. For the local auctions, Pace had a decent offering of bred and cold cows. Price comparisons really not available for that, as it's been the feeder cattle market taking the majority of the attention lately. However, demand seemed to be drawn towards those mamas with a little bit more of experience, that is. Now, on the sheep side of the auctions, the finished lambs were the high head count at Sioux Falls, and prices holding mostly steady. As mentioned, the wheat complex struggled on the heels of the neutral WASDE report. Early Thursday, of course, USDA said that 13 million bushels of wheat were sold for export last week thanks to the purchases of South Korea. Well, that's going to do it for our Ag News and Markets. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.